Hey my piggies, welcome back. Before we dive into today's topic, a quick note. I know it's been about 2 weeks since my last upload. I just needed a little break to recharge. Turns out making daily videos about your childhood cartoon obsessions can be surprisingly draining. But I'm back now, feeling good, and I've got plenty of new videos lined up over the next couple weeks. So, thanks for your patience. And now, let's talk ducks. If you grew up in the late 80s or early 90s, you might remember that half the Disney afternoon lineup seemed to waddle. DuckTales, Darkwing Duck. Even Tailspin started as a spin-off pitch for DuckTales before it went full aviation adventure with Baloo. So what's the deal? Why did Disney's golden age of TV animation feature so many webbed feet? The short answer is legacy. Ducks have always been a cornerstone of Disney's identity, dating back to Donald Duck in the 1930s. Mickey was the clean-cut star, Goofy was the lovable fool, but Donald was the everyman. Frustrated, loud, sometimes unlucky, but always trying his best. That made him surprisingly relatable, and his world was easy to expand. When Disney wanted to get into television animation in the 1980s, they didn't want to start from scratch. They wanted a world that already had characters, geography, and a tone. Enter Duckburg. Carl Barks, the legendary comic artist, had built this whole universe in the Donald Duck and Uncle Scrooge comics, filled with treasure hunts, weird science, and family dynamics. So, when it came time to make DuckTales in 1987, Disney already had decades of material ready to go. It wasn't just about ducks, it was about storytelling efficiency. Duckburg was like a pre-built cinematic universe before that was even a thing. And it worked. DuckTales was a hit, paving the way for Darkwing Duck, which leaned into superhero parody while keeping that same art style, energy, and duck DNA. Once you've got a winning formula, you stick with it, and Disney did. But there's another reason ducks stuck around. They're funny. Animators love them. Their round shapes, big bills, and expressive eyes make for easy slapstick and dynamic animation. And there's something about a duck in a hat and jacket that just feels inherently cartoonish, recognizable, yet absurd in the best way. Plus, Donald's voice, thanks to Clarence Ducky Nash, became iconic. That scratchy, semi-intelligible quack set a tone that every duck character since has riffed on, consciously or not. You don't get Launchpad McQuack or Goslin Mallard without that blueprint. Even now, the duck DNA hasn't gone anywhere. The 2017 DuckTales reboot pulled together decades of characters from across Disney afternoon history, bridging universes that fans always suspected were connected. It's like the Duck cinematic universe finally came full circle. So next time you watch an old Disney afternoon show, remember, those ducks aren't there by accident. They're part of a carefully built lineage. A legacy of comedy, character, and surprisingly deep world building that started with one short-tempered sailor in the 1930s. Thanks for watching. Again, sorry for the short break. I just needed to rest my feathers for a bit, hey. But I'm back, and there are a lot more videos coming your way soon. Expect uploads every few days for the next couple of weeks, covering everything from Saturday morning lineup rivalries to forgotten theme park tie-ins. So if you haven't already, hit that like button, subscribe, and, as always, turning my attention to gummy bears, there were no ducks there. Refreshing, my little piggies.